You're listening to the postcast after a 3-2 Sens shootout win over the New York Islanders. Don't look now, but the Ottawa Senators are undefeated in shootouts this season, 2-0. You'd remember the Boston Bruins falling in a shootout to Ottawa right before the new year, and now the New York Islanders have that same fate. Drake Batherson scored the shootout game winner. Tim Stützle and Brady Tkachuk at the lone markers in regulation, and Kevin Mandolese made 46 saves in his NHL debut. Pilsy, give me your first of two SensCentral standouts.
I'm glad you passed it over to me, Ross, or otherwise I would have strangled it back from you if you decided to take it first, because I've been calling for this for so long. Give Mando a chance. Like, if it was an opportunity where there wasn't dire injuries and you weren't down to your fourth stringer, sure, maybe you want to go with other guys. But this is a time, there's injuries, it's back-to-back games. It's a slap in the face of Mando to not play him. And I know Forsberg had a shutout last time this came up, so I mean, you can't really complain with that. But Mando goes and shows everyone that he's capable of doing this. Like, he played so amazing that you got to respect it. Like, that's an amazing NHL debut. Over 40 shots. He gets 46 saves in 48 shots. He was a big reason why this team was able to continue on in this game. That Horvat save in overtime he's got ice in his veins to make that type of save up against a player having a good season like Bo Horvat. So Mando is my first SensCentral standout of the game. Of course, I knew he was going to get the goggles tonight, Ross. I just knew it. The goalie-to-goalie goggle handoff was a thing of beauty. So thank you, Kevin Mandolese. Thank you.
Mando just reached out and said he appreciates all the love. So Mando is on board. He loves what the fans are bringing it. So keep rolling on for Kevin Mandolese, a valid first star in tonight's game. We'll get to who should start on Friday, but let's keep it rolling with our SensCentral standouts. And I got to go with Timmy Superstar. There's certainly a debate that you can have for especially one other guy. I think in particular had a phenomenal game tonight, but Tim Stützle gets the goal, gets another primary assist. He's played the most minutes on this Ottawa Senators team in how many games among forwards? Tonight, 23 minutes and 47 seconds.
You'll love to see that. Wow.
Team high, not a game high. Bo Horvat played 27-42, which is wild. But out of all Ottawa Senators, Tim Stützle, 23-47. The only nitpicky thing I want to get to is 36% in the dot. But what I will say is there was a big face-off in the third period where I didn't even know this was a rule. And it was such a weird play because the puck was flipped in from the far blue line, but it was bouncing and Parise's right on him. But they're saying because Mando covered it, they couldn't change. It was so weird. So they got stuck out on the ice. Timmy takes the draw and he wins that face-off. They don't give up possession. And then ultimately Mando's able to clear on a scramble or cover it on a scramble play. So that was probably the most important face-off that Timmy took all night, and he was able to win it. So that just tells me he's a complete gamer. And I mean, what more can you say about the hands, the shot, the skill? It's all there in spades. So I got Tim Stützle as my first SensCentral standout.
Yeah, Timmy is absolutely incredible. He's becoming he's already the player I thought he could be at his ceiling. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
Derek Stepan?
Hey, easy. But I thought he could be at this point 3 or 4 years down the road, and that would be his ceiling, and I would have been stoked about that. He's only going to get so much better in my mind. And Ross, your one nitpick about about Tim Stützle was he couldn't win many faceoffs and he had a tough time in the dot. That's why you got friends like Brady Tkachuk, my next SensCentral standout, because Brady Tkachuk, he had 6 for 9 in the dot, good for 67%. So when one of them is down, the other one is picking them back up. And that's why this team is going to have success in the future in my mind, because they've got guys that are able to do that. And the versatility of having Brady Tkachuk and Claude Giroux on wings on your top two lines when you've got young centermen is so important here. I mean, not to put down Ridley Gregg's 100% face-off success rate 2 for 2 in tonight's game, but it really helps when you have guys like that are able to step in. And Ross, not just like automatically right away, but think of how many times linesmen decide to make the show about them and kick guys out of the faceoff dot. Well, you're not sitting there being like, oh, let's just put a winger here and we'll just take the L on this faceoff. No, you got another great guy that can come in and take a draw if that happens. So I think that's just crucial, and faceoffs are a big part of the game, especially when you're a team like the Ottawa Senators. And Brady Tkachuk, 9 shots on goal, like I mentioned, a goal and an assist, 2 hits. He plays 20 minutes. Like, between the two of these guys, like, I'm not sure if you could ask for kind of a better combo all over, on and off the ice, and the way they each have different skills that the other guy doesn't have, and they're able to mesh together on a line. It's absolutely amazing.
Can I, for my final SensCentral standout, can I give it to a group?
You usually do. So if I would stop you now, that just wouldn't make any
I
sense.
mean,
So go ahead.
I could flip through all the guys on the penalty kill and try to pick one, but all of them together were just so
Yep.
in sync. Like, my two that really stood out of all of them, I mean, Travis Hamonic played 7 minutes shorthanded. And say what you want about maybe not always being the most accurate passer, and maybe he's pushing guys over his own goalie at times, but he battled tonight, man. He blocked
Yep.
some big shots too. I have to give some stick taps to what he did tonight. But Eric Brandstrom too, 5 minutes on the PK, 3 block shots.
I thought Brady had a great game. I thought he had a great game. Like, if we were going around once more, he would be my guy. Like, not even ironically, like, it's all around. He's really looking a lot better, and he's taking advantage of this opportunity to kind of take Jake Sanderson's place while he's injured.
Tyler Mott blocked 5 shots in this game. Parker
Huge.
Kelly was a buzzsaw shorthanded, played 523 shorthanded, 2 block shots as well for him and a hit. I just thought the PK unit deserves some love, because going into overtime and then having to kill that one off, the 4-on-3, like, yeah, they give up the 1 goal, but still, I think that what they did shorthanded definitely deserves to be commended. So I'm going to go with the entire PK unit for this Ottawa Senators. I know that the New York Islanders don't necessarily have the most potent power play in the NHL, but I love what I saw from the PK unit, really helping out Mando for maybe, like, there were still quality chances, don't get me wrong, but I feel like a lot of them came at 5-on-5, not as many on the penalty kill. So I think that that we can wrap up the SensCentral standouts with that. And if you're watching just the clip, we're clipping our SensCentral standouts now, then you can head over and watch the entirety of the postcast, where we're going to dive in and take your questions in the chat. And if you miss it live, always head over and try to get in the chat after games. We're going to go back to doing it right after the game, but appreciate you guys sticking with us super late and on the East Coast right now. But